everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, it has been a while. I haven't uploaded since November, I think. I think that was the last time I uploaded. But if you have been following me for a while, you know I'm a college student, so that was the main reason why I haven't been uploading these past 2 months. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff to do for college and I didn't have time to research for the cases. So I knew like for the month of December that I wouldn't be able to upload. But I was planning to get back on YouTube in the beginning of January. But then, like right after New Year's, I got COVID. But it was just like a cold for me. Only me and my dad got it. My mom and my brother and the rest of my family didn't got it, thankfully. And for the last 2 weeks, I had just the last presentations for college. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on that. But then I was starting to receive my grades and they just weren't what I was expecting. So I got disappointed and frustrated. So that was basically it. College, COVID, and then because of that, mentally I just wasn't doing great. But now I'm back. I won't promise that I upload every Saturday. I'm gonna try my best because there's still one class that I still don't know if I passed or if I failed, and the exam is next week. But I'll do my best to upload every Saturday, but again, I won't promise anything. But in today's video, we are going to talk about the case of Kendrick Johnson. And his death is so strange to me. Like, there are so many things that just don't add up. And I think this case was suggested by one of you, so if you want to suggest a case, you can reach out to me through the comments or through my social media. My Instagram, my Twitter will be linked down below. And if you haven't done already, please subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Saturday, and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. But let's just start this video. Kendrick Johnson was born on October 10 of 1995. He lived with his family in Valdosta, Georgia, and attended Lowndes High School. His family and friends described him as a sweet and quiet boy. He was a three-sport athlete and he dreamed of playing professional football. But on January 11 of 2013, his dreams were cut short. His body was found in the gym of Lowndes High School. He was found headfirst in the center of a vertical rolled-up wrestling mat, and he was barefoot. The body was found by some students who had climbed up to the top of a cluster of mats, each of which nearly stood 6 feet tall and 3 feet wide. And his body had been there for almost a full day until it was discovered. And as he was upside down, blood would have rushed to his head, and he eventually would have begun to bleed from his facial orifices. And here starts the mystery, because investigators believe that he was trying to reach for his shoe. But his shoe was lying in a pool of blood, but he had no blood on the shoe. And a hoodie and a pair of orange and black gym shoes were also found lying on the gym floor, as well as traces of blood in a nearby wall. Investigators tested the blood, which revealed that it didn't belong to Kendrick. And they also reported that the blood had likely been there for a long time, and the hoodie and the orange and black gym shoes weren't taken into evidence. The autopsy by Georgia Bureau of Investigation revealed that Kendrick had died from positional asphyxia, and the case was ruled an accidental death by the Lowndes County investigators. So as I said, authorities had a theory. They believed that Kendrick was trying to reach for his shoe and then ended up dying because he was unable to get out of there. I think there was like 3,000 students at that school, and like, are you telling me that between the students, the teachers, no one saw him? That seems a little strange to me, just saying. 3 students told investigators that it was common for some students to store their shoes behind or under the rolled up mats if they didn't want to pay for a locker. And another student said that he shared a pair of Adidas shoes with Kendrick, and that after gym class, he would always go to the mats, jump up and toss the shoes inside the middle of the hole. Lieutenant Stride John, who headed up the investigation for the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office, stated, "We never had credible information that indicated this was anything other than an accident." But Kendrick's family didn't believe this. They weren't satisfied with the result of the investigation, and they still had a lot of questions unanswered. So they hired an independent autopsy conducted by William Anderson with Forensic Dimensions in Arrow, Florida on June 15, 2013. William Anderson claimed that his findings indicated traces of blunt force trauma and suggested that Kendrick's death was not an accident. After hearing this, Kendrick's family stated that they believed that Kendrick had been murdered.
And did they ever come up with an explanation for why, in this case of positional asphyxia, that might have why the lungs might not have had that? Did they ever explain that to you, or no?
No, well, actually, we offered to send them all our information, the photos and findings and so forth, and they basically, the state medical examiners indicated that they were not interested in looking at any of that at all. They didn't even want to see the pictures. They didn't want to see our findings.
On October 31st, 2013, U.S. Attorney Michael J. Moore announced that his office would open a formal review into Kendrick Johnson's death. Combs' application to practice law in Georgia representing the Johnsons was not ruled on, and he withdrew from representing the family. So they filed a legal action to open coroner's inquest into Kendrick's death. When the judge in the case delayed the decision pending on the outcome of the U.S. Attorney's review, the family demanded that the governor of Georgia authorize immediately the inquiry instead. The family, together with NAACP and other civil rights activists, then held a rally at Georgia State Capitol in Atlanta. The governor's office released a statement indicating that they would await for the U.S. Attorney report. So in November of 2013, 290 hours of surveillance tape from 35 cameras that all covered the gym area were released to SNN. A forensic analysis found that tapes from 2 cameras were missing an hour and 5 minutes of footage, while another set was missing 2 hours and 10 minutes of footage. Some of the apparent lapses in coverage were found to result from camera systems that were not synchronized with one another. Timestamps between some separated camera systems differed by as much as 20 minutes for the same time period, giving the impression that there was a gap in the footage, when actually there wasn't. Other missing footage was a result of the camera's motion activate function not being triggered. So the camera systems were motion activated using a change in the light pixels that will turn the recordings on and off. So my camera just stopped filming for some reason, but let's just continue it. So as I was saying, apparently the area where Kendrick's body was found, where the mats were stored, was out of range of all the surveillance cameras. How convenient. And authorities for the Johnson family feared that the camera footage was edited as a part of a cover-up. However, analysis of the camera systems by the Valdosta Daily Times explained the anomalies and generated doubts on the cover-up theory. And at that point, no one believed that there had been a cover-up. Every investigator, every person that was involved in the case just believed that Kendrick's death had been an accident, except for his family. His family were still not convinced that it was all an accident. So Kendrick's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Lowndes County Board of Education, its superintendent, and the principal of Lowndes High School. The suit alleged that Kendrick was violently assaulted, severely injured, suffered great physical pain and mental anguish, and was subjected to insult and loss of life. While the lawsuit didn't name the people that were allegedly involved in Kendrick's death, nor identify their race, it implied a race-based dimension of the hypothetical assault. The lawsuit alleged that the defendants were negligent and violated Kendrick Johnson's constitutional right to equal protection based on race. So apparently, before his death, Kendrick had been repeatedly attacked and harassed by a white student. He reported that, but it seems like everyone just ignored it. And apparently, he also had been attacked on a bus trip 14 months prior to his death. The lawsuit further alleged that another student had a history of provoking and attacking Kendrick at school. And apparently this would happen in front of coaches and employees. And his family knew about this. They knew about all of these attacks. So he explains why they believe that he was murdered. And honestly, I believe too, because there's so many things in this case that don't add up. And the suit also alleged that the school failed to properly monitor the activities of students throughout all areas of the campus and to maintain a properly functioning video surveillance system. So in January of 2015, Kendrick's family filed a $100 million civil lawsuit in the Superior Court of DeKalb County against 38 individuals. Respondents included 3 of Kendrick's classmates and local, state, and federal officials, the school superintendent of Lowndes County, the Valdosta Lowndes Crime Lab, the police chief of Valdosta, many sheriff's deputies, the city of Valdosta, the state medical examiner, the GBI, and 5 of its agents, and 1 FBI agent. The lawsuit alleged that the FBI agent ordered his two sons and a classmate to attack Kendrick, and they basically just covered up his murder. But the Lance County attorney said that these allegations were unfounded and baseless, and that any response will be made in court. All local Superior Court judges recused themselves from presiding over the case, preventing the lawsuit from being filed and heard in the Lance County, sitting in their close proximity of the accused. In November of 2015, the Department of Justice filed a motion in a civil case to intervene and stay the case. The Justice Department's motion was denied, and Kendrick's parents dismissed their own wrongful death lawsuit, saying that they hoped to refile it after the conclusion of the federal investigation. And then they were sued for more than $850,000 in attorney fees and $1 million in defamation damage. On June 20th of 2016, the Department of Justice announced that they will not be filing any criminal charges related to Kendrick Johnson's death, stating, after extensive investigation into this tragic event, federal investigators determined that there is insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that someone or some group of people willfully violated Kendrick Johnson's civil rights or committed any other prosecutable federal crime. On August 10 of 2017, Georgia Judge Richard Porter ruled that Kendrick's family and their attorney had to pay more than $292,000 in legal fees to the dozens of respondents in their civil suit, and he accused the family of fabricating evidence to support their claim. Then in June of 2018, Kendrick's family requested his body to be exhumed for a second time, and he was granted permission, and the case was officially reopened on March of 2021. However, Lance County Sheriff Ashley Paul stated that he will not be claiming that there was something wrong with the initial investigation or that the original investigation conclusion of an accidental death was wrong. And that was all the information I could find. This death is so weird. First of all, assuming that he was just trying to reach for his shoe, how could no one saw him? If he couldn't get out of there, he would ask for help. He would be screaming for help. Are you telling me that no one heard him? How could his shoe be in a pool of blood but have no blood on the shoe itself? And how convenient it is that that area was out of range of all of the cameras. I agree with his family when they say that if Kendrick was white, his case would have been handled a lot differently. So I just hope that someday he has the justice he deserves and his family has the answers for all of their questions, because they deserve that. So that's it for this video. As usual, leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think about this case. So if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the post notifications so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. I upload videos every Saturday. And if you want to suggest a case, you can reach out to me through the comments or through my social media. My Instagram, my Twitter will be linked down below in the description box. Hey guys, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for waiting for me to upload again, for those who waited. And thank you so much for watching this video. So yeah, stay safe and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.